Just to get right into it, we're about just over an hour after the close of polls. What's the mood in the PPP camp?
Well, we're very optimistic about the results. For the past hour and a half since the close of poll, we've been dealing with the inevitable problems that you face. Some presiding officers not following the instructions. For example, the CEO issued a clear instruction that a number of people can witness the poll. There, in some cases, some of the presiding officers were not allowing those people to go in to witness the count, rather. And so we've resolved those issues as we went along. And then also, some of the observers kept calling me and saying they were told that there's no space in the polling place to observe the count. So these are some of the issues that have come up so far. And then the inevitable problem of APNU and their antics, running around a couple of the polling places saying the PPP is here to steal the ballots, trying to excite people. So that is what we're about. The results have started coming in, but it's a bit too early to speak about that. So if you come back here in about 3 hours' time, we should have a significant number of the statements of poll in, and you can get a clearer picture as to where the country went in terms of these elections.
SOPs aside, both yourself and opposition leader Aubrey Norton spoke about APNU strongholds today. You've been very clear that the PPP wants to take control of those strongholds, especially Georgetown. Are you confident that enough was done?
Not to take control. Control is the word they use. We would like to get one opportunity in these areas after they've been managing many of these communities since independence to prove that what we are doing at the national level, we can replicate in these areas. And we've been saying what we want is a like-minded town council or city council that will work with the central government rather than become a hindrance to development. They would work with us to transform these communities. And so we wage a great campaign, I think. In these areas, we pushed very hard. And in doing so, the country saw that we're the only party that stayed on message of what we will do for these communities. APNU was into vilification of individuals and spreading rumors like we plan to increase taxes and get rid of the vendors and sell out the land in the city. We stayed away from that. We focused on the message of progress and development. And then, regardless of what happens tonight, and we hope we get a really good result, but regardless of what happens, we have demonstrated to Guyana that we are the only multiracial party in the country.
Definitely. Additionally, already the PPP can claim at least 13 local authority areas out of the 80 in total. How does the party feel about that, knowing that and going into these elections?
Yes, so it's something you shouldn't be boastful about these things, but we have a very strong party, and the strength of our party comes from our faithfulness to people and to our promises and to the development of our country and working for all of Guyana. And that's where our party has its strength. And it's been growing every day. So we won these 13 areas before the elections were held today. And so sometimes it's not all great to do that because some of these areas are some of the most populous parts of Guyana, like the Port Morenton NDC. So nobody will be voting. So if you look at our overall votes, it will be low because we're not getting a single vote from there. We already won it. There was no election. So it would affect the overall vote. But I think, but notwithstanding the work that we won these areas, we put great effort into campaigning in all the other areas, going to every home. It's very hard when you're an incumbent party to excite people. In 2018, we managed to excite a lot of people to come out, particularly from our strongholds, because there was a cause, getting rid of acne. And people in the country at that time were very unhappy with acne. Now a lot of people in our communities, they say, that's a strongholds, they say, we'll wait for the general elections. These are not so important. They may like the party, but they may not like the candidate. And so a lot of other issues you're faced with. Notwithstanding all of those, we try to bring people out to fight against this complacency that incumbent parties face. And we expect a good result from all of these areas. The turnout may not be very high, but we expect good results, which you will see, which will become evident by tonight, later tonight, tomorrow.
Right. My final question for you, Dr. Jagdeo. We are at the end of the day, but were there any issues recorded by the PPP while voting went on today?
So far, not anything major. From all that we heard, the polls went well. The closure of the polls went well. This one issue with the CEO issuing specific instructions and a minority of presiding officers not following those two. And so we had to ensure that we brought this to the attention of GCO, and then they resolved it. So it wasn't insurmountable. So overall, I will rate the conduct of poll today as fairly good.